Well, hi there, farm families. I'm Rob Winters. We've got a critical message that we need to share with you today. It really kind of started out with a brief conversation that Randy Crone and I had at the state capitol. We just kind of ran into each other and we started talking about broadband. And that has been a critical issue for us for a long time. Randy, one of the things that we got to in the midst of that is that you had put some real pressure on your county officials, came up with a solution, and now you have broadband. Can you share that story with us?
Yeah, I feel pretty fortunate, pretty blessed. You have to realize we went from basically no broadband to some phenomenal 500 up and down. But the story behind that was that there was enough pressure placed on our county council, county commissioners, that they started looking for solutions. And so they did some RFPs, and we were lucky that several people stepped up. And actually, it turned out for Vanderburgh County, AT&T was the one that got the contract. But I would just say none of this would have happened without having a county commissioner that was extremely focused and determined that she was going to get broadband all across rural Vanderburgh County, or basically all unincorporated parts of it. So pretty fortunate, but it takes a lot of hard work. This doesn't happen by chance by any means.
And, one of the parts of our conversation, I said, well, Randy, is that duplicatable across the state? And you said, sure, but that means I got 91 other counties I got to deal with. And that's when we stepped in and said, we might have a better idea. Now, Katrina Hall joins us. And Katrina, thanks for being on the call with us today. In our conversations as they went forward was that we discovered that there has been a lot of money allocated to this, both state and federal. But we've got $800 million right now. It's kind of critical that we do some things specifically to make sure that we take advantage of that.
Yes, absolutely. So over the years, we've supported expansion of broadband into rural areas to the last mile, to the last acre. But over the course of the last two budget sessions, the General Assembly allocated more than $200 million to what they call the Next Level Connections grant. So we supported that by sponsoring a speed test that was on our website, but our license, it was about to expire. And what we discovered was the Indiana Broadband Office was getting ready to administer the BEAD program, which stands for Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. And so in that, they were creating their own speed tests, their own maps and so forth to administer, and it's actually $868 million would be available for the Office of Broadband to grant to various internet service providers across the state with the goal of getting access to high quality access, which is defined really that it's 100 over 20 to every address or location in our state. In order to administer the grant, they not only created a speed test, but they also created a mapping system that will be useful and was a part of our speed test platform so that folks can tell which addresses are served and which are not. And remember, the definition is above or below 100 over 20. So they've been working really hard. They have built out their office so that they can provide not only the capacity to administer the grants and review them technically, but also provide support to localities that would be gathering information like the speed test. So the next step for folks in rural areas especially is to focus on doing what they can do for themselves, which would be to take a speed test that they can find on connectingindiana.com.
I want to just comment on that. We've pushed our speed test. We've done a lot of these things, and that was all good. It helped some of the local grants. But what you got to understand, if you've done it before, this is a fresh start. So we've wiped the slate clean. We got to verify the maps or prove that we don't have that. So ones that say, oh, I've already done the speed test, a year ago, that doesn't count, unfortunately. This is a new program, and we're starting from scratch. So please don't think you've already done it. We got to start over again. I am thrilled with what we have. I feel very blessed on what we have, but I also lived on for a number of years and through COVID on the other end where I was on Wi-Fi with the video and on my cell phone for the audio and marginally doing a Zoom call. So I've been on both ends of it. I think it's important. We've got an opportunity. We just have to seize the moment and make sure we take advantage of it. The dollars are on the table. We need to make sure they go to the right places.
I completely agree with Randy, and I think Seize the Day is a perfect way to look at this opportunity. And this is, farmers are independent and they want to be able to control their own destiny. And this is certainly the way to do that. So no more complaining. If you're not, it's kind of like, are you voting, or don't complain, but you've got an opportunity to stand up for yourself, but you have to do it right now.
Well, we've got an opportunity. So the bottom line is get engaged.
Podcasts by Federated Media.